YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage back with more Total War Warhammer online battles. This time I'm going to be playing as the Warriors of Chaos, led by Kholek, Suneater. I've got a Death Sorcerer on a Chaos Steed. My main line is 6 Chaos Warriors. I've got 2 Chaos with Halberds, 2 Chaos Spawns, and 1 Chaos Marauders. Notice the theme with the names there. So Kholek Suneater is obviously a large, very damaging unit. I don't feel like the Empire has a great answer to Kholek other than maybe like massed missile fire or something like that, but Kholek can punch through lines. He's really mostly going to be vulnerable to demigryphs with halberds, and that's why I brought some halberdiers of my own to help fight those off. And Chaos Warriors with halberds are pretty darn tough anti-large unit, but very expensive. Chaos Warriors, pretty decent infantry for the price, like not a ton of attack, but very well armored. Very sturdy units. Chaos Marauders are kind of crap. I just threw them in there with the extra money I had. Chaos Spawn are damage dealers. So I meant, hopefully for these guys, if there was great swords, I was going to use them to help dish extra damage to the great swords so they didn't beat my Chaos Warriors. And if not, I was going to try and work the flanks with these guys. Now, as far as the Empire army, you can see I'm under fire already. He's got a line of spears and halberds protecting 2 mortars, which have open fire. And mortars are anti-infantry. Chaos is certain to be loaded with some infantry. Mortars are relatively cheap artillery. Not very accurate. He's got a steam tank. The steam tank is, in my opinion, best used against the Greenskins just because it causes so much terror. I think the Chaos are going to be a little less likely to flee from the terror of the steam tank, but I could be wrong. And then he's got 5 Empire Knights over here in a very deep formation. So yes, this is 5 units of Empire Knights. So a huge investment in the Empire Knights, and they're all stacked on one flank, which ought to make it relatively easy for me to pile up to counter them. And he's firing his mortars at my Chaos Spawn, and they've done a fair deal of damage, but he really needs to be spreading that damage across my army better, because just hitting a Chaos Spawn isn't going to do that much damage. And he comes in with a very early cavalry strike here. Now, I want to point something out. I'm going to actually pause it just real quick. So the formation he's in right here is too deep, and when you have a unit that's dependent on a charge bonus like Empire Knights, or any cavalry unit for that matter, you have to spread them out a little wider because these guys are going to be blobbed all on top of each other, and their charge bonus is going to be mostly wasted when they can otherwise do some pretty significant damage. But you see how they're too deep? These guys in the back will never get their charge bonus exerted, and they won't be able to throw all that mass into the enemy unit. It just gets wasted. See how they all charge in from behind and it gets wasted on themselves? He hit himself with the mortar right there too. I got a Fate of Buna off just to chase these guys off. Fate of Buna doesn't seem like it's as strong as it used to be, but I mean it still does some pretty significant damage to this unit. But I mean in the past, Fate of Buna would have left this unit completely dead. And it's pretty hurt. Let's not lie to ourselves, it's pretty hurt. So he's going to go ahead and run a charge into my Chaos Warriors. It's going to knock him over. It'll do a little bit of damage, but I mean it's really not going to be that damaging. His cavalry attempts here are too early. And then he's firing on my cheap Chaos Marauders here too, rather than my more expensive Chaos units that he should be focused on. Kholek is out here dealing with some of these Empire Knights. He missed a magic missile there. A magic missile won't do much to hurt an enemy lord. So like I said, the best way for him to deal with Kholek would be like a magic missile spell from like a light wizard or something, which he did not bring. And not having a battle wizard as the Empire can be rough. Now see here where he actually hits my guys with some of these mortar rounds? It does considerable damage to their hit points. So if he would have been focused, I think, on these more high-cost units earlier, he'd be in trouble. I have a Chaos Spawn behind his army, and I'm going to attack his spearmen so that he can't protect his artillery, and my Chaos Spawn should be able to get his artillery. Kholek is pounding Empire Knights all the while. That's going to be his main goal right now. So I've got the Chaos Spawn coming from behind, and then my Chaos Warriors are coming from in front. Actually, he must have a wizard if he's doing this. Oh, his commander was Balthasar. Sorry, for some reason I was thinking it was Karl Franz. Yeah, his commander's Balthasar, so he does have a wizard. My bad. I apologize for that. Now, you can see my Chaos Warriors there, and look at these Chaos Spawn. These guys are just going to be wrecking these poor mortar controllers over here. They're going to be getting wrecked. The halberds are going to hold their ground fairly nice for a little while at least against the Chaos. And then Kholek is just out here, like I said, absolutely pounding the crap out of these Empire Knights. This giant electrified dragon ogre is definitely a nasty foe if you don't have the right stuff on the battlefield. Now his steam tank is going to do a decent amount of damage, but my Chaos Warriors, like I said, are going to be pretty sturdy. So although it'll be ramming and pushing away a lot of my guys and causing some damage, I should be okay. Let's see. Yeah, here's the Chaos Spawn still just ripping up his artillery. Here comes another Chaos Spawn. He's going to use some magic over here. Looks like he is using a transmutation of lead, so it's taking away my weapon damage and melee attacks, so definitely not a bad spell to cast there. It certainly hurts my guys, but it was a little too late because my Chaos Spawn hit these guys from behind. And now there's some morale issues because a lot of the Empire units on this flank are being attacked from both in front and behind, and it's causing a lot of damage to this flank for the Empire. The steam tank, like I said, is holding out better, but Kholek is now free, and I'm going to bring him up on the enemy flank as well. And I'm going to use, he's got like a lightning bombardment spell as well that I'm going to use just to throw some extra damage into the midst of all these Empire units. Here it comes, let's watch it up close. So I just kind of targeted the ground right here. It actually wasn't the best target, but it wasn't bad. We definitely did some morale damage to some of these spearmen. He used a magic missile spell here, which probably ended up doing as much damage to his guys as it did mine. So Kholek has definitely helped to start punching his way through, and I'm going to use him to come after the Empire steam tank at this point. So that giant hammer, I guess probably one of the few things in the old world that can be pretty useful against the steam tank. Now, in all reality, though, steam tanks are going to be kind of vulnerable to cannons. Kholek's actually getting staggered a lot by the steam tank. I didn't realize that would happen. He gets staggered a lot by the steam tank, in fact. There he finally gets a hit in. When he does get a hit, it's going to do significant damage. But the steam tank is getting quite a few attacks off on Kholek from having staggered him as well. So not a bad job by the steam tank here against Kholek. Interesting. And from long distance, the steam tank might be able to hit him fairly well with cannonballs. But at this point, my opponent admits defeat. The steam tank was basically defeated. Most of his army was routing. So it was a fun battle. I haven't used Chaos in a while. Chaos, to me, is still a bit of a gimped faction, but some of their units did get some boost that at least I feel like makes them a little bit better. But you got to remember that with Chaos, you're going to be using usually just a few very high-tier units. And very expensive lords, and you're going to have to make do with that when your enemy may be able to surround you or pick at you with a more diversified army. So keep in mind you're not going to have any missile units and stuff like that. It's going to make you a little bit vulnerable as Chaos, in my opinion. But nevertheless, they can be fun to play, so just because a faction's an underdog doesn't mean you shouldn't take it online and have some fun with it. Hope you all enjoyed this video. HeirofCarthage signing out for now.